Hey yo, what's going on guys? Chuck here, and once again, we are here with another SCP video. But before I begin, I'd like to thank you guys a lot for helping me reach 17,000 subscribers. That is an amazing goal once again. I hope I can get to 20k by the end of the year. And for those that began watching me because of my SCP-682 video, thanks a lot. That video hella blew up. It's over like 110k views by the time I'm recording this. That is an amazing growth, and hopefully this one does just as well, if not better. Before I begin this video, I'd like to give huge thanks and credit, of course, to Tats Top Videos for the footage that they have allowed me to use in their videos. So I will put their links in the description down below if you want to check them out. They make amazing animations and a bunch of great content regarding SCPs and other spooky stuff. So make sure to check them out, and other than that, let's get started. Now the tricky thing about SCP-1, the Gate Guardian, is that it may not be the real SCP-1 at all, and that is because the SCP Foundation has put in several fake files or entries into the SCP database regarding SCP-1, so that it misleads people, so they don't know which one the real SCP-1 is at all, and that is why several doctors and several of these proposals have been put into the database of these different SCPs, and people have to guess which one the real one is. But I highly believe that SCP-1, the Gate Guardian, is in fact the real SCP-1, because according to the lore, its influence is what created the SCP Foundation, and I will get into that part of the lore later on in the video. But for now, let's go into what it actually looks like and what kind of threat it possesses to the SCP Foundation, if not the entire existence of the universe. What is SCP-1? The Gate Guardian is a tall humanoid figure which stands over 700 cubits in height, or over 1,000 feet if you do the conversion. It is of a very bright composition due to its luminous nature, and it is seemingly faceless. Agents of the SCP Foundation have speculated that it has over 2 wings, if not over 108. Meaning that SCP-1 can seemingly change its appearance to a degree at will, and it actually seems a lot like an angel. SCP-1 is located between 2 rivers, the Euphrates and the Tigris rivers, which runs along the Middle East. Although SCP-1 does not directly pose a threat to humanity, because it just attacks things that come in direct contact with its perimeter, or tries to attack it directly. Because of its nature, it cannot be contained, and honestly it would be impossible to, because this thing is ridiculously powerful. It is still regarded as being a Keter-class SCP due to its weapon, and of course because of what fear it strikes into the other SCPs. SCP-1 possesses a large sword-like weapon which emits flames that rival the temperature of the sun. Now the temperature of the sun's surface is over 9,900 degrees Fahrenheit, but the temperature of the core of the sun is calculated to be over 27 million degrees Fahrenheit, or 15 million degrees Celsius. Even with this insane heat, which logically could evaporate all of the water on Earth and not easily destroy the surface of the planet, due to area of effect, it does not actually do any damage to its surroundings. And it is very possible that it could emit even more energy and even higher levels of temperature when it actually does activate the weapon to incinerate its opponents. Now, even though SCP-1 is seemingly immortal due to it living for a long time, if not since the beginning of the universe itself, it actually does have some abilities like telepathy, mind manipulation, and even fire manipulation. Now, telepathy is a big component because it's what it uses to communicate with other people who try to approach it, and you can telepathically tell them to, hey, go away, like forget about this encounter, and they will effectively have their memories wiped of the incident, so they will never have an idea what they just witnessed. And of course, the thing that it is guarding itself. Now, in rare occasions, SCP-1 has communicated with other people and told them different directives, and one of them was prepare, which is what it told the SCP founder, and that is why the SCP Foundation was created, so that it can contain and effectively protect the world from all these threats that have come from higher dimensions and extra dimensions, whatever other things have occurred, and all these things that could definitely pose a threat to the world and end it, if not the entire universe. Now, SCP-1's weapon has the ability to seemingly obliterate someone from existence, regardless of their range, meaning it's an ability similar to the Hakai, in which not only the body is destroyed, but also the astral form, if not the soul itself. When experiments were conducted, those who were also involved in experiments trying to launch missiles and other weaponry at SCP-1 far away from the perimeter were actually immediately destroyed by SCP-1's weapon, which these guys could be across the country, if not the entire continent, and SCP-1 could still wipe them out from where it was standing without moving. To truly understand the threat that SCP-1 possesses, one must analyze the potential power of SCP-076-2, another heavily powerful SCP, regarded as being able in the SCP-verse. SCP-076-2 is a tall humanoid figure that is seemingly immortal and has superhuman strength and durability. That is because it has taken a lot of punishment to take down. Several, and I mean several firearm rounds have been used to take it down. Blunt trauma has been crushed, and has even been asphyxiated, and that is all proved to be effective to kill this being. However, even when it is killed, it reforms with an SCP-076-1, which is this cube, which actually reforms it after death. SCP-076 may not be that powerful on his own, but he does have the capability to summon weapons from his own pocket dimension. Now, this pocket dimension seems to be from the same source of power as this thing called the Thorn. The Thorn is this outside source of energy in the SCP-verse, which can be used to create a TK-class scenario, or what the SCP scientists call it, a broken timeline. Now, what is meant by a broken timeline? This means that events that occurred in one timeline originally were somehow put into a different reality where the events did not line up, or there are gaps that, for example, what happened to these 200 years that happened, they were no longer in that chronological order and they're all over the place. They're in different points in reality. So look at it this way. And the SCP Wiki, one of the original canon stories regarding SCP-076, it says that there was an agent that was killed by SCP-076-2 in another reality, but when it comes to the actual reality that they were in, none of the records matched up, meaning that there's a person that was not even in the original reality. This led them to believe that this TK class scenario of the broken timeline was in place because all these things and events did not match up in the original timeline, which means that through the Thorn, SCP-076-2 has the capability to reset timelines if not break them apart, and if we assume that this timeline has an infinite amount of universes, you're looking at SCP-076-2 being a mid to high 4th dimensional level being because it can reset and actually affect timelines. Not destroy them or create them necessarily, but affect them nonetheless. And now you guys will get an idea about how powerful SCP-1 is in comparison to this guy. Now, to understand the power of SCP-1 more efficiently, you need to look into what tests were done on it. When SCP-1 was first discovered, it was theorized that it could be used to take down other stronger SCPs due to its amazing potency of its weapon, which can of course erase things into non-existence. SCP-076-2 was directed to walk towards the area that SCP-1 was guarding. And instead of actually approaching SCP-1, SCP-076-2 was scared for its life and it said no. Just no. Essentially, SCP-076-2, who had the full capability of using the Thorn, can manipulate timelines, reset them and break them in fact, is scared of SCP-1's potency of its weapon. Now, you don't have to necessarily say that SCP-1 can alter timelines, break or reset them effectively, but you can argue that he is higher dimensional than SCP-076-2 with the full capabilities of the Thorn, because if SCP-076-2 really wanted to, with the full power of the Thorn, he could just reset the timeline or just change the timeline entirely so that he wouldn't have to actually face off against SCP-1 instead of being so scared and not wanting to approach him. This could be because the weapon could potentially just erase him entirely, if not a source of power, which he uses to make his weapons, which is of course the Thorn. Now, if someone who can affect timelines effectively throughout many universes is easily mid to high 4th dimensional, if not even peak 4th dimensional, then if that power is dwarfed by SCP-1, you could easily see that SCP-1 could be a 5th dimensional being if affecting time is not even gonna be enough to take this guy down. Now, SCP-1 doesn't have too many feats to go off of. It's not like, oh hey, it can destroy a universe casually or anything like that, but you have to speculate, and that is because many of the higher dimensional beings like the Scarlet King, and of course SCP-343 being like the god of the SCP-verse, like the Judeo-Christian god equivalent, I guess you could say, not the one above all equivalent per se, but there are many of these beings, like even the Brother's Death. These guys are much higher dimensional. They're like multiversal to hyperversal, if not much higher. It makes a lot of sense that these higher dimensional beings, like even affecting time, is nothing to them. So I think it's very possible that SCP-1 may actually be on the 5th dimensional scale, if not much higher. But of course, there's not enough to go off of apart from just what SCP-076-2 can do with the Thorn and his reaction to SCP-1 just being like, yeah, I'm not approaching him, right? So he's basically cucking down to him. But that is my take on his power. I'm not saying this is 100% fact, but I think it is very possible that he is on those levels. And if you disagree, just go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. I want to see your thoughts on this. I definitely like that SCP is getting more attention, and that is definitely going to keep the community growing. Other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching, and be on the lookout for a poll that I will be posting on here very soon, or I might do it in the comments section. And I'll let you guys choose which SCP you want me to do next. So we can either do this in a poll form, like I just put in like my own list of them from the ones you requested, or you can also comment it down below. And whichever comment gets the most likes, I'll go ahead and check it out, and we'll see what we can do with that. But once again, very huge thanks to Tats Top Videos for letting me use their footage. It definitely gives my videos a much better visual. And yeah, check him out, as I said, in the description down below. But thanks for watching, guys, and peace out, thoughties.